Sky Squad, we are back in the building, baby, and we got to talk some reality TV news, some little hot topics real quick before we get into this episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta season 14, baby, because it was a good episode. But for right now, we got to talk about some things that are going on in the world of housewives that I think you guys might find interesting. So you guys may recall that the Real Housewives of Atlanta OGs from season 1, minus NENE Leakes, were on the Carlos King show, the Nightcap with Carlos King. And when asked about the lawsuit against Bravo that NENE has going on, Kim Zolciak commented and said that NENE knows it's not true. She basically hinted at it being defamation. And then Lisa Wu chimed in, or rather, upset. I felt like she was kind of big mad about it. Basically calling out NENE for never recommending her and always recommending Kim Zolciak to come back to the show, and finding it ironic that now she's including Kim Zolciak as an example in this lawsuit. Well, NENE Leakes was not going to let those comments fly, baby. She was not going to let those comments fly. So she took to her Instagram and she responded in only the way NENE Leakes could. So she posted a photo of her in this hat with a huge Cheshire cat grin on her face. And she says, it's given they still obsessed years later. Okay. And that was a response to Lisa Wu calling her out about always recommending Kim Zolciak and never recommending her to come back to the show. It's interesting to me. All these years, we never knew that Lisa Wu felt some type of way about this, but it was very interesting to hear how she's feeling about it. And baby, let me tell you something. She came across like real big mad about that thing too. Like she had been holding on to that thing for quite some time. So it was interesting. And then watching NENE's response back to it, they still obsessed years later. She's talking about Lisa. Okay. So let's move on, because we got to talk about the Real Housewives of Potomac and this ginormous plot twist that we got yesterday afternoon from Dr. Wendy Asefo. Now, earlier, about a month or so ago, we had gotten word that there had been some type of altercation between Wendy and Mia down to the Miami when the girls was filming at the Bar 1. And we knew that Mia and Candace had left off on a pretty bad foot at the end of last season. We also knew that things were kind of sticky, but yet very interesting between Candace and Ashley as well, because they've been feuding for the past several years. So when Dr. Wendy Asefo posted this photo of the four of them, Mia, Wendy herself, Candace, and Ashley, while the girls are away on their cast trip down to the Mexico, and she posted the caption "plot twist," it left everybody wondering what the heck is going on with this new friendship group. I myself am personally happy to see it because I like a good plot twist every now and again, and I hope that it lasts for quite some time. I mean, you can see the girls laughing together. It'll be interesting to see how things play out, because that even if these four are linked up together, Robin and Giselle are going to be on an island, by themselves as always, because they're going to always have each other's back. So that leaves us to wonder, where does Karen Huger fit into this mix? So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out. We've seen, the clip with Mia confronting Karen during Karen's live comedy event. And we've also seen posts of Mia and Karen, together again, so we know that things get worked out. And I'm here for a season filled with plot twists, us going back and forth, not knowing who's going to be friends with whom, and storylines not becoming stale. To me, this is the perfect mix. And I'm super excited to see what Real Housewives of Potomac brings for season 7. Like, what's going to be the major plot line? What's going to be the major through line? We know about the whole situation between, Candace unfollowing Giselle, but we don't necessarily know much about anything else that's really going on. So I'll be interested to see how this whole situation plays out on the television screen. Okay. Now, real quick, we got to take things over to Love and Marriage DC. Okay, so yesterday we had gotten a post from TV Deets indicating that the Love and Marriage DC cast were filming their season 1 reunion today. Well, yesterday, I should say. And we had some posts from the Silvas, you know, showing some behind the scenes. We see Ashley Silva here and Quicksilver sitting in the chair. So with the caption that says, "Stay tuned, Ashley Brittany, DJ Quicksilver." And interestingly enough, you know, fans were kind of wondering like, oh, well, that's interesting that the season is filming so early. But I will have to tell you guys that most first seasons of any shows, you know, a lot of times they'll only get like 6 episodes. Like Bell Collective only got, I think, about 6 episodes. So, and they're bringing that back. So it's interesting that we're getting this season reunion coming so early, but you know, OWN is a different kind of network. So they might want to get this thing in the can nice and early so that they can have enough time to edit it down in the way that they want to edit it down. So I'm curious to see how many episodes of the show that we'll actually get. And then we got a follow-up from Carlos King. Now, he posted a photo of Regina Hall, and it says, "Current mood after wrapping today's Love and Marriage DC reunion. This was my reaction for 7 straight hours. This cast does not disappoint." So you have Monique Samuels commenting with laughing emojis, and then you have on DJ Quicksilver posting on behalf of the Silvas, "You're welcome." So I would wager to suspect that things get pretty fired up and heated with the Silvas and most likely Winter Williams, especially after watching this past week's episode where you have Winter Williams basically kind of going off and accusing, you know, well, not accusing, but talking about how the streets are talking about DJ Quicksilver and whatever he has going on in the streets. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out, because if I was DJ Quicksilver, I would have some words, because I would be like, well, how are you going to come talking all this stuff about me and talking about all this stuff in the streets, you know, when, you know, like what was being said? Like I would have to say, like, you know, what did you hear in the streets? Because you keep alluding to something, but you're not really saying what the streets are saying. So I always find stuff like that to be very frustrating, especially for, you know, the men on the reality TV shows, because a lot of times, like, the claims can't be substantiated. So it'll be interesting to see how those things play out as we continue to move forward. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell button, and I will catch you in the next video.